Let's go.
Sunderland travelled to Cardiff without a win in 7 and no away win since Boxing Day. Good Lord, we could do with some redemption this Good Friday. Cardiff were coming off the back of a good decent run of 4 wins in 5, having beaten Ipswich in that run, but stats showed them to be a passive side with less quality in passing and attack than us, so play right, and we'd have a good chance today. As the rain beat down in South Wales, Mike Dodds named a team with a glimmer of hope. Patrick Roberts and Aouchiche made the bench. Might both play on Monday? With none of our strikers able to muster a significant threat over many outings this season, it came as little surprise to see Jobe Bellingham selected up front today, to us or him.
And I'm not asked where I play really, but as long as I'm in red and white, that's fine.
He has been our best forward there when played, and there's no point in developing Burstow at this point of the season. We're not keeping him. Styles retained his place at left-back over Hjelde, but neither of these will start once Elise is up to speed, I assume. A slight eye-opener with seeing Chris Rigg selected to play as right wing. He has played there before, though, and he doesn't often look out of place on the pitch, so I, for one, was happy to see him play.
Sunderland after the international break. Will it be a good Friday for SAFC? Let's hope so.
Sunderland started poorly today. Styles was caught out of position early on for the ball in behind him. And Aouchiche isn't bothering to track back here either.
Josh Bowler. The cross comes in. So 9 with a header.
Yeah.
And minutes later, Styles is caught in no man's land again.
Go and win it in his own box.
Bowler plays it forward. Riles gets there, pulls it back. Luckily for Sunderland, they clear.
Neil gets off the mark with a poor pass, and
They play it forward for Aouchiche. It's cut out.
when Luca 9 travels upfield with the ball, there are no line breaks.
He's able to go through the gears. Aouchiche is to the left. 9 continues.
And it all comes to naught. We lacked a press to begin with.
Performances and results, really. We just sit in a little bit more, knowing that we're going to allow Cardiff to have some of the ball and see what they do with it. And then once we win it, we've got to be critical.
And Ballard gets caught making a high-risk pass here.
Ballard.
It all looked a little shaky as we sat off their attack, and when Neil passed to Aouchiche and lost the ball for a Cardiff counter, we feared the worst today.
Loose ball. Goes to Bowler. Still on it, and it's opened up for him as well. He gets a shot away and it's hit the side netting.
Yeah, again.
But in Chris Rigg and Jobe Bellingham, we had 2 players with a connection looking to play forward as much as possible. Here we see Jobe make a line break. It didn't come off, but we would see this a lot today. And minutes later, Aouchiche stole a loose Cardiff pass to play Jobe in for a penalty.
For Sunderland, he looks up, he goes down. Referee gives a penalty.
Yeah.
It was a mistake at the back, and they couldn't recover Cardiff City.
Yeah.
Sunderland have...
Puts a hand on it. We had one of these the other week, didn't he? Puts a hand on his back.
Well, it's enough if you're running at speed to knock you off balance, isn't it? Maybe this might be a conclusive angle.
I don't know. I think it's generous.
And after stealing in for the back pass and playing that, it was Aouchiche who seized the ball to take it. When Aouchiche arrived, I did a brief lowdown on him signing for us, and you can see that video in the top right now if you want to click on it. In that, I pointed out that he could take corners better than anyone we had in the team. My only surprise was that Sunderland took so long to realise this themselves. But he's on them now, and he delivers quality, well-placed corners.
Aouchiche is direct with his corner. Comes out. Neil catches it. Rigg, back to Daniel. Right foot this time. Just over.
And so it was that Adil stepped up for the spot kick. And blammer! He smashed, fired home, buried the ball and sent the keeper the wrong way to put Sunderland 1-0 up. In recent weeks, well, all season actually, we have had trouble creating genuine chances at goal. Here you can see Aouchiche is in a poor position for the number 10, too low, offering nothing to Neil, who ends up having to turn back to retain the ball for Sunderland, and we start again. It's the right decision, because the team isn't set for attack, and too often that's been the case. This is in the first 5 minutes, And it's another good example of where we've been poor for too long this season. It's been a problem, too few runners in the channel and no one breaking the back line. It's the reason we've all preferred Rusine to be selected, as he's the only one who looks able to do this. Today, though, Jobe up top made all the difference, frequently offering those line breaks and running the channel. This doesn't come off, but it pulls the opposition out of shape and it will create chances. Even when the cross is poor like it is here, it still often gives chances, falling to Neil on this occasion.
Have men over. Cross comes out to Dan Neil on the stretch. Left-footed shot, gets the corner.
Yeah, wasn't a great ball.
It was then no surprise when the second goal came from exactly this sort of play. Hume plays in Aouchiche's run, and he crosses beautifully to Jobe, gambling on a striker's run to the back post.
To the top of the net! It's 2-0 to Sunderland!
Yes, and there he is, that man. Would you believe it? Here we go. Again, get themselves in a mess, Cardiff. And there he goes, off the back of Perry and G. Not sure where he is. Well, he's in behind you, and the ball's in the back of your net.
Yeah, Rolls slides, doesn't get
While
there.
celebrations were going on for the second goal, Dodds was giving Ekwah some new instructions to play higher, in stopping Cardiff playing out by denying them the option of a dropping midfielder and pressing Cardiff into more mistakes. Here you can see him as instructed alongside Aouchiche high up to follow the dropping midfielder. Ekwah had a good game today, back to his best, almost. Crisp passing, making chances. Playing Rigg in nicely here, only for offside to defeat him. Working harder in the tackle to retain possession here with Neil.
On the stretch, does well, finds Dan Neil who's trying to keep possession.
And using his physique to fight for the ball more.
Ball's up in the air. I feel like Sunderland fans have been waiting weeks and months for this performance so far. Important challenge from Ekwah. Sunderland look on top here.
Even running the channel to put crosses in at one point.
Bar. Ekwah.
He was altogether much better today and helped give us a solid midfield that Cardiff simply couldn't get through, winning the ball and making chances.
They're on the front foot, they're ready to go and press and to try and steal it off Cardiff again.
That's probably what they've been instructed to do, but
this season we've often made poor choices at free kicks, not thinking about zones or placement very well. We definitely lack someone with the coaching knowledge for them. So I just want to pick up on this Cardiff free kick, which is a good one in my opinion. The ball is destined for this spot here, which is a great choice. It's an area behind the keeper, forcing the keeper to turn, where he'll be off balance and possibly poorly positioned. There are other targets to aim for, but this one is fine. What is important, though, is the placement of the ball in this. The area is difficult for keepers to decide. Should they come? Should they not? What if they don't make it? Added to this, they have a false runner over the ball, which momentarily splits up Sunderland's defence and gives Cardiff the protection against an offside to make this actual cross in the first place. Nothing comes of it, but it's a really good example of how we could be better worked and practised in our free kicks. And so it continued. Jobe making line breaks, here pointing to Bar where he wanted it played in behind.
He's Bar. Just pulled it a bit.
Bellingham was excellent today, gambling on balls going through all the time, like here, gambling that his 16-year-old teammate will win the header.
Rigg won the header. Jobe comes across to help out.
Here, pointing again to Ekwah for the ball. And the resulting shot is over-ambitious, but it shows you that he's brimming with confidence. He led by example up front today, and it infused the entire team with confidence. You can see it here as we move cleanly through the thirds with probe, back, move.
Important pass from him. Ekwah.
Probe, back, move. The only slight disappointment is Bar choosing to play it back instead of off to Jobe in behind. But even then, they build again with the same principle, probe, back, move, and it puts Bar through, free again. No cross to finish it, though. Nonetheless, it is easy stuff when we're looking forward, playing fast, crisp football, and we have the technical ability in the squad to do this. We haven't been doing it enough. But Sunderland comfortably saw out the first half. with Ekwah's advanced instructions from Dodds forcing Cardiff into errors. He'd been at it all game, hassling and winning the ball here to almost create a third goal.
Ball forward for Aouchiche, and Sunderland could be in here if Abdullah Bar can get there.
And that was the half.
Yeah, allow that to go on. I think the referee there, if it was.
Things continued after the break in the same vein.
But it was.
Lovely ball forward from Dan Neil. Jobe. It's been great for Sunderland this afternoon.
Jobe making the opposition here, and we continued to dominate and create chances.
9. Well, he'd overplayed it there for a second.
Abdullah Bar does well here to throw the defender off balance, creating space for Neil in the off-lay to have the shot.
Dan Neil on the edge, fancies one, right-footed! Deflection, was it?
Looked like, yeah.
Ballard came back into form after the break. He's a quality defender, we all know that, but he's also a competent ball player, and that had been lost a bit under Michael Beale. But today, he started playing those forward balls again and hitting them. What a pass that is to split the defence.
Aouchiche.
And Neil fires again. It's not going to be your day, Sam.
He picked his spot there.
Well, it looked easy, didn't it? As you say, the ball in behind. Again, you've got willing runners this afternoon in behind Aouchiche. You see him there.
And Ballard followed that up a few moments later with yet another side splitter.
Puts himself about.
Good forward ball from Ballard.
But with 6 losses in the last 7, Dodds was keen not to let this one slip. And out of possession, Sunderland were happy to sit in defensively, and why not? Well, for one, with nothing to do, Patto got bored, which can be the only explanation for this hospital pass that lands Dan Ballard in it. The clearance from it is poorly dealt with, though, and Ekwah is really not happy with Chris Rigg here.
Ramsey.
He wants surety in receiving the pass, and he's complaining Rigg's positioning is too poor and too static. He's asking him to read the space better and present.
The blocking on Ramsey.
There were Cardiff calls for a penalty from this incident, but it isn't. Ballard clearly plays the ball away. Well, anyway. But this was to be the last real threat from Cardiff, and Sunderland went back to work. Great skill from Hume and Aouchiche from the throw-in here to create an opportunity.
Nice work from Aouchiche and Hume, who gets the cross in. It's a lead from Bar, but I think it might be a free kick.
And Jobe continued to lead by example, chasing down Gutas to win the ball here.
You know what?
Just see him there.
Jobe has picked his pocket.
Doesn't want to use that left foot, does he? Gutas.
And Dodds gave the lads every chance to tie up the win with substitutes and an eye on Monday's game. Kjelder came on for the booked Styles, who I forgot was playing, so little attack did Cardiff have. And Mundell came on for Rigg, but none of this disrupted our play as quality chances continued to come.
Aouchiche still going. Bar. Dan Neil. Jobe. Options opening up for Sunderland. It's a bit of a bounce on that one, but Trey Hume does well. Pokes along the top. Oh, and Jobe was in there.
Ekwah hassled.
Grant just behind him, and that'll give an opportunity for Ekwah. Dan Neil.
Neil saw space.
He's took 3 players out there.
Jobe made openings, and Mundell has time here. I like his instincts to get the ball in the box, but there's no one there. With 10 minutes left, Dodds sent on Hamir for Aouchiche, and Jobe dropped into the hole behind him. And if anything, Jobe just proved more dominant in the middle of the park now, with acres of time and space, dictating play. He's had some stick this season for not performing, but this is an 18-year-old who's played 38 games this season and has an XG almost on a par with Jack Clark, way ahead of the next player in our team. We haven't had an 18-year-old this good play consistently for Sunderland for well over 40 years. If his name wasn't Bellingham, he'd be talked about much more than he currently is. You might think the match would peter out there, but it wasn't. There was excitement all over the pitch for the last 10 minutes. A Cardiff free kick saw Hamir and Bar sprinting to offer themselves for Mundell's breakaway.
Counter here. It's remained Mundell for Sunderland. Abdullah Bar's on the far side. Hamir is breaking through the middle.
But Mundell chooses the wrong option here, I think. Dak came on for Bar at the 87th minute to soak up time, and soak it up he did.
for Bradley Dack. Haven't seen him for a while.
Running all the way from the substitutes bench at leisurely pace to take this corner.
Is back.
Last involvement was that 1-0 win at Hull, wasn't it? 20 minutes or so in. Yeah.
Which amounted to this. And in desperation, Cardiff's effort to get up the field saw Hamir steal the ball and race clear.
Hamir's picked it up. Hamir for Sunderland.
Oh.
But he couldn't find the net. Jobe did find the net again, but was offside.
O'Nien.
Oh,
Sunderland could be in. It's Jobe. He's offside.
The ref plays an advantage from a foul on Luke O'Nien here, but Jobe's offside, so there isn't any advantage. I really think the ref should have the ability to ward the foul here. Amazingly, this was not it, though. In the 92nd minute, Jobe gathered and played a beautiful ball through to Mundle, who forces a great save out of Ethan Horvath.
Again, Mundle through the middle. If he can take control of it, he has. Can he get his footing right? He gets a shot away. Dack's arriving, but can't get there in time.
Down to his left-hand side. There now. Good firm save. Good height for him, suppose the goalkeeper.
Even Bradley Dack got in on things at the death, as Sunderland's pressure allowed Neil to pick up the ball in the middle of the park, play it through to Hamir, who put Dack in for the shot.
Dack! Left-footed shot is cut out.
And that, at last, was that. In the pelting rain, Sunderland registered their first win in 8 games and their first win on the road since Boxing Day. It was a great all-round performance, the best since Leeds at home, I think. Even the best player in the world at the moment thought it was a great game to watch.
And there, he'll sleep tonight finally.
In the Bible, the book of Job is a parable about why we have to suffer. Well, on Good Friday, amidst a biblical downpour, our Jobe put an end to ours and instead made Cardiff suffer with a dominant performance that ran the show. Ekwah was back on form. He still needs to be more physical in the air defending corners, but he was back on his A-game largely today, breaking up play, spraying good passes. And Aouchiche had been restored to full confidence, always looking forward, and a menace in his favoured 10-year-old. There were great performances across the field today. On to Monday, and hopes that we can do it all again. See you then.